In 1965, Singapore got kicked out of Malaysia. No oil. No farmland. No natural resources. A tiny island smaller than New York City, with no army and 1 million people who were mostly poor. Most economists gave it 20 years before it collapsed. In most countries, politicians and top civil servants earn a fraction of what they'd make in the private sector. In America, a cabinet secretary earns around $230,000 a year. A mediocre hedge fund manager makes 10 times that. Singapore said, that model produces mediocre government. So they flipped it. Singapore's Prime Minister Lawrence Wong currently earns around $1.7 million US a year. The ministers earn over $1 million. Senior civil servants are paid comparable to private sector executives. The logic? If you pay peanuts, you get monkeys and corrupt ones at that. And it worked. Singapore consistently ranks as one of the least corrupt countries on earth. In Transparency International's 2023 Corruption Perceptions Index, Singapore scored 83 out of 100. The United States scored 69. But high salaries for leaders alone don't explain Singapore's wealth. The deeper secret is a system almost no one outside Singapore fully understands. It's called the CPF, the Central Provident Fund. Think of it as a mandatory savings account but on steroids. Every Singaporean worker contributes a portion of their salary to the CPF. In 2024, employees under 55 contribute 20% of their wages, and employers add another 17%. That's 37% of every paycheck going into a personal fund. Now here's where it gets different from a typical pension system. The money isn't pooled. It's yours. It sits in 3 accounts, one for housing, one for healthcare, one for retirement. And you can use it. Singaporeans use CPF savings to buy apartments, pay hospital bills, fund their kids' education. The result? Singapore has one of the highest home ownership rates in the world. Around 89% of residents own their homes. Compare that to the United States at roughly 66%. The government didn't give people houses. It forced them to save and then let them use those savings to build real assets. And here's where it gets really clever. About 80% of Singaporeans live in government-built apartments. But calling them public housing makes you think of crumbling projects in Chicago or London tower blocks. Singapore's HDB flats, Housing Development Board flats, are clean, connected, and genuinely livable. And crucially, you own them. You can sell them. They appreciate in value. The government controls supply just enough to keep prices stable. They don't let the market go crazy with speculation, but they don't kill prices either. It's a tightly managed balance. When a Singaporean retires, they often have 2 assets, a CPF account with real savings, and an apartment they own that's worth real money. That's a social safety net that doesn't depend on future taxpayers. It's pre-funded, individually owned, and actually functional. Let's put the results in real numbers. In 1965, Singapore's GDP per capita was around $500. By 2023, it had reached over $84,000, one of the highest in the world, above the United States, above Germany, above Australia. Singapore's Changi Airport has been rated the world's best airport for over a decade. Its port is consistently the second busiest in the world by shipping tonnage. Literacy rate, 97%. Life expectancy, 83 years, among the top 5 globally. All from an island with no natural resources in 60 years. Here's what Singapore actually teaches us. It's not about being authoritarian. It's not about suppressing democracy. It's about treating governance like a serious profession that requires serious people, serious pay, and serious accountability. Most governments are run like a charity. Singapore runs like a company that knows it'll go bankrupt if it stops delivering. You can argue about whether that model is right for a larger, more diverse country. Plenty of people do. But you can't argue with the results. A tiny island with nothing, in 60 years, became one of the wealthiest places in human history. That's not luck. That's a system.
Subscribe Info Beyond Borders now for more mind-blowing knowledge.